Good afternoon and welcome to Titan Talk. Hey guys, thanks for joining us today.
I'm back.
I'm back. Myself, Lieutenant Coop, and our gracious secondary, Mr. Cat McFarland. Thank goodness he is back. I know you guys are tired of seeing just me on here.
Oh, they miss me.
They argue about you all the time.
That's fair. It sounds like somebody's trying to take my job.
A couple of people have offered. Yeah. Diego's all over it. He just keep telling me just need to have him out here. And I was like, you know what? He misses one more and I'll think about it.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
But other than that,
how's everybody doing today?
Got some good stuff. Got some non-work related, but some interesting stuff that we want to talk about today with current events.
Yeah, we just thought current events would be good. It's not really like a not shop talk. There's just there's a lot going on in the world, and I just want to kind of keep people updated that don't always watch the news and stuff. So a few current events. As everybody knows.
Oh, pull it down.
Oh,
Do that.
that's fine. No, it's weird. I like it up here. Everybody knows.
I want your face in the camera.
That's fine. But unfortunately, not to start off on a somber note, but KCPD lost two of their very own recently. So that was kind of something we want to tie into work. Is that guy had been on the department for a lot of years, and anything can happen at any point in time. So keep your wits about you out there, guys. That guy was doing like 85 miles an hour in like a 45 mile an hour area. And it's a tragic story, or tragic tragedy that took place. I think it was 2 weeks ago or last week, 2 weeks ago. And so just to kind of start off with a little bit of a sobering thing is, hey, keep your wits about you. I don't care how long you've worked for us or experience you have, especially you new guys. Anything can happen to anybody at any time. So
always stay focused and apprised of what's going on around you. Keep your attention up, just because that's where we kind of tied into a video we did a while back with talking about distance and gap and reactionary time, and then not just that, but just paying attention to your surroundings, because just because you complacency, staying away from that, working somewhere for a long period of time, you could go decades with nothing happening, and then out of nowhere, out of the blue, something catastrophic goes down. So keeping yourself from being complacent in your job.
Just always be kind of system checking, I know that there's nothing in that area, or when you do rounds or something, look anyway. Just look anyway. Crazier things have happened. Stranger things have happened. So moving on from that to less somber. We're Super Bowl champs. The guys are already making moves for next year. We won't go into too much of that, but I just feel like I need to catch up here because I haven't been here in a while. So it's like,
hey,
what,
you know what you missed?
What have we been talking about?
And it's funny you missed it. I actually had a couple of good references to Super
Sports
Bowl.
ball.
Yeah, so I was pretty proud of myself on that.
Good. Some weird stuff's been flying around the skies lately. We shot down that Chinese. I believe it was a Chinese balloon.
Yep.
And then
that one I know.
3 or 4 days went by, and there was like 2 or 3 more sightings. One was in like Nevada, one was in Alaska, and they're all confirmed. That we shot some more stuff down. And I was talking to the big boss about it, and he kind of made a good point. I was like, man, what's going on? Something's going on, dude.
Yeah.
Like there's something seriously wrong, or hope there's potentially something. And he goes, well, you probably just hear about it more because now they're aware.
You got to think about it. A lot of the times, where we think that maybe we don't. This activity wasn't going on a whole lot when we were younger or back in the past.
Yeah,
information is more readily available now than it ever has been. And so some of the stuff that we're numb to or that we hear about, we're like, oh well, that's new. That's never happened before. It's probably been happening forever. But because of the level of access to information we have now versus back then, we're hearing more about it now than we ever had, would have been.
And then there's talk of aliens, stuff like that. I don't disagree. I think statistically, it's more likely that there's advanced life in this universe than there isn't. I know James Webb found a bunch of new galaxies that shouldn't exist and stuff. And there's a lot of cool. I'm kind of a space junkie guy. I love
this dude
all
got
that
me
stuff.
turned on to the James Webb Telescope, and that was
if you
probably
haven't
one of
checked
the
it out,
coolest
check
things
it out.
ever.
It's got the ability to basically see back in time, and so I will let them explain it better than I can. You'll read some data on that kind of helps explain it a little bit better. It's the way the wavelengths work. And so anyway, they found a bunch of galaxies that shouldn't exist. And so my theory on aliens is...
Oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. It's not going to be like the movies where they come in. I mean, it could. I don't know. There's no way to know. But if I were to bet or put down my theory in stone, it's going on the internet forever, I think if something has the capability to it's going to have light speed or light speed travel or something like that.
I think it'd have to be faster.
Wormholes or something. Yeah, something basically. If something has the capability to do that, I think they have the capability to stay invisible or not be
Unnoticed.
detected. Yeah. And so if we're detecting stuff, it kind of seems
My thing
lazy
is-
on their end. And also, they're not probably going to send a manned craft. It's going to be something, like a drone,
An unmanned drone.
Unmanned craft of some sort. But there's just been a bunch of sightings lately in the military. Some higher up officials in the military have confirmed some of these sightings. And if you really want to see some weird stuff that is there's something there, is called the TikTok or the Tic Tac UFO. It's from I want to say 2018 or 2019, where these military fighter jets are having a hard time tracking it.
I heard about
let
that.
Let alone fly with it. They have a hard time just visually
they found
it's moving.
It was two entities they found as they were flying back to wherever their base was. I heard about this. I actually looked into it a little bit because I was so interested.
That's probably one of the most well documented with actual reputable U.S. government, which
they got within
tinfoil hat wear here, but
they got within a
sometimes you
half
can't.
mile of it or something like that, and they're like, "Yeah, we see it on radar. We're approaching it now," and it took off on them, and they're like, "Oh, it's gone."
Check that stuff out. So that stuff's cool. That's some current events that are going on. The other thing is in Ohio, that train derailment. We're in the Midwest as well, so if you've got family over there, I hope they're safe and in taking the proper precautions or reactions to what happened. There was they were saying it was like a Chernobyl level event of waste that was being expelled into the. I mean, it was insane. So
I watched something on that. I watched there was a YouTube video, like an ad for one of the senators or something in Ohio or something, and he's standing out in nature and he's talking about how they can go to fix this and who needs to be held accountable and stuff. And he goes, "Well, this is what it looks like." And he's standing out there and you're like, "Oh, it doesn't look too bad." And he took a stick and he messed with the water, and you just see this layer of film just come up, and I'm just like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, there was miles and miles and miles away, fish were showing up in streams dead and stuff like that. It's a pretty crazy event going on. So I hope nobody that we know, it's a tragedy for anybody. It's human beings, but hopefully nobody's personally affected by it, and hopefully those families get the resources and the help they need. Politics aside, it was cool to see Trump go out there and bought all the first responders, food and stuff, because they're probably pulling double duties and stuff, and they finally recognize it as like a national emergency disaster, and so they'll get the resources they need. What else is there? NASCAR's back. Sports ball. It's probably the closest thing to sports ball that you
I'm
like.
better at NASCAR than I am at sports ball.
Kyle Busch won last night. I can't stand that guy.
I say someone. I was watching it with a friend last Sunday, Saturday. Was it Saturday?
Sunday.
No, it was Sunday. I don't know what race it was, but I think it was Bush. Which car is he again? He's
a number 8 now. He
yeah.
used to be the M&M guy, but now he's
8.
He got a new team this year.
The reason I was watching is I was with a friend. We were doing some maintenance on his car and everything, and we got done. We were getting in the house. We were getting ready to eat dinner, and he's a huge NASCAR guy.
Yeah,
and I like cars, and I'm all about cars, but I'm more into motocross and stuff like that.
Yeah, you
NASCAR, desert racing, dirt racing, rally stuff like that. And so he's watching that, and it was funny because I drink Black Rifle coffee. And I didn't know, but they actually have a Black Rifle car now.
Oh, yeah.
And so he goes, "Oh, it's your car. It's your car." And I was like, "What number is it?" And he told me. And I said, "I'm rooting for that one." He goes, "Dude, he's like an 11th." I was like, "I don't care. I'm rooting for that one."
11th's not bad.
Hey,
especially those super speedways, you can jump spots really quickly because of drafting and stuff.
It was real funny. He went, the second I said that, "I don't care. I'm rooting for him." He went from 11th to 5th.
Yeah.
And then an accident happened and he totaled his car. And I was like, "Well, never mind."
Yeah, there was one at Daytona. I think it was Travis Pastrana was doing not like a cameo, but just like a one-off appearance. I don't think he has a team, or if he does, I maybe knew. I don't know, but I haven't been as plugged in as much as I normally am. So there could be things like that, or he could have a new team. Anyway, getting off track.
Tangent.
He was wearing a Black Rifle fire suit. I don't know if his car was wrapped in Black Rifle, but yeah, no, Black Rifle makes good stuff. If you guys are coffee drinkers,
yes, absolutely.
I am not the biggest coffee drinker, but every once in a while, if I need something to I'm kind of having that afternoon kind of sluggish, I'll go drink some. But especially when it's hot, I do not. I stay far away. From
It's
coffee.
one thing my dad was real heavy about was coffee, and my dad would drink it. It could be
that generation.
From
that generation really.
Oh
is.
yeah, and I'm from we're from the desert. Like me and my dad, that's where I grew up. That's where my dad lived forever, and it would be 112 degrees, and my dad would be a little tired. He'd be like, "I'm gonna have a cup of coffee," and I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, you're gonna go drink a hot cup of coffee at 110?" He goes, "And
we'd be out at range.
Okay.
Me and Leon would be out at range this last summer, and this is gross, but like the sweat is dripping down like the inside of your
hold
shirt.
on, I'm gonna bleep you now."
And so, like, I mean, you're just sweltering, it's just dripping off of you, and he's over there with his thermos, and he's just
Drinking a cup of coffee.
I'm like, you are a serial killer. Like, what is? And he's, I mean, it's just routine. Once you're in it, I would like switch to like an energy drink or something. But I kind of got away from caffeine after patrol. I went a little caffeine heavy, and
I think most
it
do.
affected my health. So my kidneys were burning at points, and I'm just like, you know what? And I was like, maybe that second bang wasn't a good idea. I'm like vibrating.
I know there was a point where I had a friend tell me that they were really concerned about my health, and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Was that your monsters?
Yeah, I was. I think I was up to 5 or 6 a shift, and I think I was drinking my 6th one, and I called a friend. And you remember Did you see Patton the other day? After he had his second pot.
You told me.
Yeah, he was the Energizer Bunny, for lack of a better way of saying it. I think it was on my sixth energy drink for the night, and I called my friend, and I was like, "Hey, I got a question for you," and I just started going. And she goes, "Hey, hold on, breathe real quick." And I was like, "What?"
You go
She goes,
drain your
"Are you
blood."
okay?" And I go, "I'm fine. Why?" You are talking.
I'm sure it was
really
like,
fast.
I'm fine. Why?
Yeah.
On?
Everything was like 100 miles an hour. And she's like, "I'm just concerned for your well-being." I'm like, "I'm fine. It's great. It's perfectly fine. It's okay. I'm
Like
all right."
Donnie from the Wild Thornberries.
They were like, "Dude," and she was like, "I need you to go drink some water because I think you're gonna drop." And I'm like, "I'm fine. It's great."
Yeah. Nope. So yeah,
Diego Charles, thanks for joining us.
My parents are the same way. My stepdad, he has to have a pot a day, and he just drinks it black. So I think that's better. If you put a bunch of sugar and creamer in it, it's really not good for you. That'll put on some pounds too. It's a lot of calories. But if you drink it black, they say it's healthy. So as long as you have it in moderation. But
They say everything's healthy with moderation.
I've started drinking tea a little bit, and you know that.
Yeah.
I'm more of a tea guy.
Not a little bit. You drink.
I've
you didn't
slowed down.
just start.
Yeah,
but
I've been doing it for
forever.
a while. So I got a teapot for I think it was my birthday last year or something. So
A uniform question. All right, so the update on uniforms, guys. We have jackets available. As for uniform shirts and pants, we're still waiting on some manufacturing stuff. We've run into a couple
Snag.
of hiccups, but the company that we're working with is working diligently to get that stuff kind of figured out and taken care of. We're giving them options and things like that. So we're working with them the best we can to get stuff out to you guys faster. As of now, we're still using the current uniforms, all except the jackets. The jackets they were able to get done to us and modified within a couple of weeks, which was faster than I've ever been able to get jackets taken care of because of the style. So other than that, the uniforms, shirt and pants, we're working on. But those couple of hiccups did put a stop to it for right now. But we're working through it the best we can with the new company. So we should hopefully have it taken care of soon. I just don't have a true ETA for you guys. So we're working on it. I appreciate your patience on it. But we're trying to get it to you guys sooner rather than later. But no, it's a good question.
sorry. What else is there? I was thinking we should start a segment, and you'd be fantastic at it because your jokes are terrible. This we could have a terrible joke segment where we do.
I tried that one time. You got mad at me.
Because I got yelled at for how bad your joke was by somebody else. Yeah,
It wasn't that bad.
No, my boss came over and he goes, "I'm angry with you." I said, "What? What did I do?"
You
he
made
goes,
me.
"You allowed
You let him
allowed
waste like 2 minutes of my life."
Coop to tell me that joke." And I said, "What?" "Oh yeah, I heard it earlier. It was awful." And he goes, "Yeah, you knew it was coming. You didn't stop him." And I said,
And the worst part is he was standing there when
"It's like
I did
a
it.
90-second joke, and at the end you're just like, what?"
It's not that bad.
No,
it's
it is.
not a
It is
what.
awful.
It is not awful.
It is awful. There was one I knew a while ago, and it was like, what does the water buffalo say to his kid when he goes to school or something, like "bye son" or something like that? I don't know if it's water buffalo or bison,
No,
or if
it's
they're the
bison.
same thing.
It's
Yeah.
bison. Yeah.
Bye son.
What does the bison say to his kid before he goes to school?
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Bye son. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that with a fraternity brother in college. We had a class, and we had to, like, if you got the best stupid joke or the best joke, you got like 25 points on your
Hold
test.
on,
or
wait a
something.
minute. D, is that you? Are you saying I have bad jokes too? Hold on.
Is that Ortiz?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I'm almost positive that's Ortiz.
Awful jokes.
They are not that bad.
Yes, they are. There's like dad jokes. There's like, haha, where you're sitting there and you're scrolling, whether you're just kind of killing time. You're like, huh. And there's ones you don't even laugh. So that's like the ones you don't even laugh. And then the ones that are kind of like, huh. They're there. And then there's the dad jokes, which are down here. And then Coops are down here, where you're just like, I lost IQ points. I dropped a couple IQ points. I'll never get those back.
They are not that
along
bad.
with the time of my life that I spent listening to it, and you're depriving other people of oxygen. Like, dude,
They're not that bad.
I'm not allowing you to tell that long one on here. You can come up with quirky little ones.
I got a little one.
Most of the ones I have
Oh, come on. It's really not that bad.
are not appropriate for.
No,
for the
I know a lot
podcast,
of them that
so
aren't appropriate for
I can't really
public.
think of any.
I got a couple of dad level ones.
Okay, you get one.
One?
Yep, make it good, because I'll cut you off. I'll reach over there and hit your little stupid button, and just be like, "We can no longer hear Coop."
Okay, if it gets that bad, if it's
I
bad.
mean, how about we save it for Friday? That gives me a chance to get a couple good ones.
All right, how about this? You guys want us to tell jokes? Hold on, what do we got here?
I'm sure there's going to be plenty coming
We can't start that segment. Diego says we can't start that segment because he's only got a couple of brain cells left. If they're not that bad, Diego. Bite me.
Did you just call yourself stupid, Diego? Careful.
Let's see. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Would you guys recommend someone new to security start off armed or unarmed? So that's actually a really good question.
If you have firearm experience, that's great. But if you've never worked security before, I would probably go unarmed.
Yeah.
Just so you can kind of get the whole experience to be like,
The understanding of what's going on.
Not
how
experience,
everything-
understanding.
The,
Yes.
the understanding of how the job works, what the clients are expecting, what the job entails. When it comes to armed security versus unarmed security, if you have no experience, I dived into this with no experience. I didn't work a security job before this. I helped a buddy out, being the front, being like not a bouncer, but the front door guy to a club that he had back where I lived, and that was like the most experience I had. And I had a dude who was 6'5", 6'6", and he big old muscly guy who stood behind me. So when somebody didn't like my answer, he was standing there, and they're like, "We're done, we're good," and they'd leave. But this was the first security job I ever had, and I hopped in armed, and it wasn't. I enjoyed what I do for a living, but my recommendation to people is always, if you've got zero experience, you've got no gun experience or anything like that, start unarmed.
Yeah, start in the shallow end, work your way in. This carrying a gun for a living, and I explain this at range all the time, is you could shoot better than me, and I'm no marksman. I do pretty well, but I'm not perfect by any means, nowhere near. And let's say you come in and you just have you just shoot super well, and you know your way around the weapon. But if you're not here, carrying a gun for a living has a lot more to do with just shooting.
There's a lot more that goes on to this job, security-wise, first responder, EMS, all of those, mentally than there does physically. And when you think about it, when you initially think about it, a lot of people don't get that, and so they think that, oh, it's easy because I'll be standing at a library or I'll be standing at a warehouse or whatever. But there's so much more that goes on mentally that you have to be prepared for that you don't know going into. And if you're not prepared for it and you don't understand it, you're just setting yourself up for a bad day.
Yep. I mean, I came from former law enforcement, so I jumped straight into armed, obviously. And so I had a lot more training. But, that's a really good question. So I would, yes.
Thank you for the question. That was actually a really good one.
Apply unarmed. And then, if you catch on really quickly, then by all means. And honestly, it actually happened to me today. I was in the field for a little bit, and I was talking to one of the officers, and he was just like, I think I'm starting to get ready to go armed. I said, perfect. I said, just keep getting after it. Go practice at the range so you're ready for the accuracy part, and then just make sure you keep maintaining, just keep maintaining or operating at the level you are.
You're disciplined with that.
And make sure you're still running through scenarios of, hey, if I did have my firearm, that use of force continuum. Okay, so that's the most important thing. They're just dangerous.
Yep.
So, I mean, I have mine on right now, and it's second nature.
Yeah.
This is probably I've had it on a few because I was in the field, so I've had it on a few times on the show. But it's just second nature. So you just have to have that kind of ingrained in you, and we put you through the training for it. So, good question. What else is there?
Diego says yes, I did. So he's answering your question. He did call himself stupid.
Okay.
And then we have someone here saying that we'll be paying for their therapy. No.
Hey, you clicked on here on your own free will.
I will tell you this. If I ever tell a joke on the podcast, I will put it in the title that says...
warning.
Warning.
Joke is coming.
Graphic content. And that way I am not held responsible for one of my jokes.
What was that?
What?
I just heard like a...
No, it was probably me hitting this.
No, it was in the headphones.
I didn't hear anything.
It sounded like somebody logged in or something. That's weird.
No. I think you're losing it.
They have the Shamrock Shake is back, and they have an Oreo Shamrock Shake.
We're not. Oh God.
That looks good.
No. Why are you bringing up McDonald's food?
When I was healthy and like when I probably could have gotten away with it in high school and college, I hated McDonald's. I never ate it. But now
I blame Todd.
I
blame Todd.
I mean,
I blame Todd.
every once in a while I'm just like, dude, I need a McDonald's dirty burger.
Those are.
But I haven't had a Shamrock Shake in probably 10 years.
I didn't even know they still made them.
Every Shamrock time.
Really?
Yeah, but I was in line today and they had it was like an Oreo with a Shamrock. I bet that's amazing. It's like a mint chip Oreo. Ugh,
I haven't been to a McDonald's in I don't know how long.
Dairy Queen just opened up a chain kind of close to my house, which is dangerous. I haven't been yet, but
The ones that are dangerous for me
Chicken strip
are
basket.
Five Guys, and then
I got one of those kind of close, like 15 minutes from me. So
Andy's.
Andy's isn't bad.
But those are the
It's not
dangerous
bad.
ones for me.
They gave me a discount last time I rolled through there with the
Billy,
patrol
thanks
car.
for joining us. Diego says, when are we doing the pay-per-view of you versus him? That was one of the things that came up while you were gone,
Pay-per-view. Oh, we're fighting.
of you and him fighting for
I fight
the,
dirty,
for the
dude.
spot here. So
I fight dirty, so I'm getting older. I don't really. I'm not going to fight for a long time. I'm just going to grapple, and probably put you to sleep. So, not that you can't fight, Diego. I'm not saying that. I wouldn't fight you. We're on the same team. But I just.
everybody wants to fight McFarlane for his spot because nobody wants to work this stuff. So everybody wants to fight him for the easy
Yeah, I got
spot.
the easy gig. So.
Just sit there and smile.
Yep. What else is there, guys? Anything new you guys want to talk about before we call it a day?
Yeah, say anything else you guys want to bring up, let us know.
Weather is doing its normal. I don't know what
So I would look it up,
season
but
it is.
unfortunately my phone decided to take a
Hi, son.
die. So
What else? Overland Park.
Say, other than that-
61. Holy smokes. It's beautiful outside.
Diego-
60s.
Diego says he had 4 years of wrestling. Good luck.
So did I.
Gentlemen. Fight.
Let's get it on. Oh, that's Celebrity Deathmatch. I wonder if there's anybody old enough to remember that.
Oh, I love that. That was always funny.
Can definitely not have that.
No.
So 62, 64, 58, and then back in the 40s for the weekend.
Hold on. It's supposed to be. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
No, you cannot wear shorts to work, people.
No.
I had an officer ask me if they could wear a kilt.
Billy says it's supposed to snow
With a
Friday.
straight face. I think it said rain on mine.
No.
No, that is flurries. Wow, 70% chance of snow on Friday.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's 64 tomorrow.
Go Missouri, go Kansas.
Yeah.
Can't make up his mind.
What else is there? Anything else, guys? I think that covers just about
I
everything.
said that's pretty much it. Diego's like super hardcore about getting this set up because now he's like, oh, it was 4 years, but I've been wrestling for 7. So he's like super hardcore into this. We might have to organize.
I told you
this.
I fight dirty. So
I wouldn't doubt so does he.
I'll just pull a taser out or something. No, I told you I'm not going to fight somebody that works for me. Plus, yeah, that's not no. I have fought enough people
Oh yeah, no.
that were having a bad day that I'm good. So
And McFarlane's the winner. Look at that. What do you know? That was a good one.
we have the. I mean, we're the ones on the soapbox here. I dictate the outcome. I won in the 16th round.
Let's see. Yep, Billy, it went up to 70% for Friday for snow, so there's that. But I take that with a grain of salt. I mean, I don't really trust that stuff because I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it for the rest of my life. That's probably the one job you could get wrong every day of the year and still be employed the next day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all great in all being able to somewhat predict it and be like, oh, well, we're going to be somewhat warm tomorrow, but I don't think you can really tell. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the guys who are smarter than me who do this for a living really can predict with more accuracy. But every time I see it, it's usually
Global warming.
Yeah, it's usually there's
Man-made
some-
global warming.
some
I'm getting
stuff wrong with
political today. I don't normally do that. I don't know why. There's just
We're
been so
just
much
gonna
going
shut
on.
him off. No,
There's that new series, The Last of Us. If you guys have HBO, check it out. It's
it's a good
really
series.
well done.
They did make some
Don't say anything
changes.
about spoilers.
I'm not,
No.
but they said they did say change some things from
Yeah,
the game versus the show.
The purists are all upset, but most
But
people
here's
said
the
that they
thing.
kept it really close.
They kept it extremely close.
Yeah.
They changed a couple of storylines, and they've changed a couple of things, smaller things. But when you actually go back through and you listen to like the detailed explanation of why they changed it, it makes complete sense. Like 100% understandable. Even like a purist who would watch that and listen to the reasons of why they changed what they changed would even go, you know what? I get that.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: if you make a movie or a show or something the exact same as the video game, there's no the story changes so little that it's the same thing that I played this. I know what's going to happen.
Right.
But with those little subtle changes, it changes the entire dynamic.
Yeah.
And so I didn't play the game, but I actually I had a friend who did, and I watched him play it, and like I watched some of the stuff, and he sent me, and it was the storyline behind the game is extremely close to the storyline of the show, and it's. I mean, like I said, the small changes that I know they made. I watched the back data and the
Brian was
stuff
saying
on it was really good.
Brian, the guy we had on a couple of weeks back, that we got into like a real nerd battle, not battle, but just like a nerd session of
nerd off on
movies and stuff like that. And Brian's such a good dude. I'll stop by and visit him throughout the day, or if I have time, and we'll catch up on movies and stuff and new shows. And he said that there is. I think he said maybe a YouTube or a podcast or some channel that literally goes through the movie and does them side by side and kind of applies it. So if you guys are interested, check it out. It's called The Last of Us. It's on HBO. We're not sponsored. I wish.
If only.
Because I pay for it, which I would like for it to be free HBO. But yeah, that's a good one. New South Park coming out this Wednesday. They had two new episodes already.
How
the
many
last
seasons
2 weeks.
are they on now?
26.
Jeez.
And they're being sued by two different streaming services. I think Paramount and because they're on HBO and they're on Paramount.
Really?
So it's weird. Yeah, there's like I always wondered how that was going to work out, but there's like $190 million lawsuit or something. But no, there was where did I see it at? It was an article of like the most paid artists, because they're technically considered artists, I guess. A lot of their shows have like montages and catchy songs. So there was like Genesis, who's I think is a band. They had like 200 some million last year.
Yeah.
Well, there was like one or two more ahead of them, and then they were like fourth or fifth on the most
for South Park.
It was Matt and Trey Parker or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, for like the most highest grossing performers or artists of 2022. And
That's crazy.
Well, they signed a $900 million contract for like 10 more seasons and like a bunch more specials and more video games. Yeah, the video games are cool because it's like an episode.
Oh yeah, it's exactly
like a 5-hour-long episode.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and the video games are fun.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. So yeah, we got off on some weird tangents. What else is there? Squirrel.
Ooh, shiny.
So guys,
other than that, I think that's all we got. We'll call it for the day.
Do we have anything planned for Friday? You want to do a reaction video?
We actually do have a plan for Friday. We've got Kim's going to join us. They're sending out a blast. I'm not going to give out too much information.
Oh yeah,
but they're sending out a blast on our Titan event that we have coming up, and then we're going to have Kim on, and she's going to give a kind of an epilogue or a dialogue of what it is and explain it down and kind of go from
epilogue.
there.
I forgot what that means.
I don't know if that's the right word. I don't think it is.
Shakespeare or something like that.
I think it's just a description of what's going to happen.
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare. Don't quote me, and if I use it wrong, I apologize.
Shakespeare.
But I think we're going to call it. So, guys, I appreciate you coming out today. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for coming back today and not avoiding us again. We appreciate it, guys. Everything you guys do in the field allows us to do stuff like this. If you guys have videos you want us to react to, videos you guys want us to break down, whether it be for training or just a basic breakdown, send them to me. Let me know, and I will take a look at them. If they're reactionary videos, I'll watch it on my own so I can know what we're doing with it. And if it's the breakdown videos, I'll get McFarland in here so we can collab on it and get it all set. But other than that, I appreciate it, guys. We thank you so much for everything you do, and we look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. So stay safe, stay warm.
Be careful, guys.